Hi guys, welcome back. All right, Scorpios, here we go. Let's get into this. We start out Scorpio with the divine masculine. So if this is the one who's thinking about Scorpio, first off, we have an emperor. This is someone who is like one to open up their arms to Scorpio as well. We have a six of wands. I feel like there's something about Scorpio that like gives them wings. I don't know if Scorpio has just this delightful, blooming energy. This is one of my favorite Six of Wands cards, just because this is somebody who's like just smile can kind of lighten everything up. Sorry, I can't talk right now. But she looks so happy. Sometimes the Six of Wands can carry like an arrogance, or we see people, strutting their stuff. And instead, this is just somebody who just loves their life. And that kind of joy just emanates off of her. I can see why an emperor would be very impressed with Scorpio. I have a feeling Scorpio is probably quite accomplished. Scorpio could be somebody, by the way, they could grow flowers really well. They could have a particular, like let's say they do like dahlias or something, and their dahlias are really, really beautiful each year. We have the magician, and it's interesting because we've got, the as above, so below, but I'm wondering if this is an individual who, like the emperor, matches Scorpio really well in this context of, like I've used my head, Scorpio uses their heart, but now I'm seeing that we both can flip roles as well. They're teaching me to use my heart just as much. It feels like we have two characters that possibly manifest from either logic versus heart, but I almost think that the two of them like complete, um, the like together they would be a really good pair, a really good match, and that's what this character obviously sees. It's like Scorpio has attributes I don't have, and a great emperor will always be able to say that, right? A great emperor knows that he brings significant gifts to the table, but his complement would be somebody who has opposing gifts to him. He wouldn't feel challenged by that. He'd feel like, oh my God, this is an amazing person. They teach me to look at the world through a different lens. They manifest from a different place than I do. And I just feel like Scorpio is exactly that kind of person. My impression is that Scorpio and this emperor are both incredibly accomplished or skilled at whatever it is that they do. Why do I get this vibe that Scorpio is really going places in their life? But maybe that's not just, a slogan. Maybe literally Scorpio is traveling. It could be that they've inspired this masculine to travel. I'm picturing Scorpio saying, well, maybe you should come out and see me sometime. It feels like Scorpio is either on an adventure, or maybe this emperor is like going to shock Scorpio, like fly out to meet them. Scorpio might be driving, but they might be saying, I think I'm going to fly out and meet up with Scorpio. I want to come out to where Scorpio's moving to, or where Scorpio's going. I want to join them. I kind of feel like this is one of those situations where supposedly Scorpio was just doing their own thing. Scorpio seems very independent in this, and yet this emperor is like wanting to tag along and meet up with Scorpio. God, Three of Swords, this could be a very big shock if they suddenly appear and they suddenly, end up right where Scorpio is. Because I think Scorpio's been kind of bummed. Like, I guess I'm taking this trip by myself. I don't think that they are after all. It almost feels like there's been a lot of longing. Like both people knew that this is wrong. They should be going where I'm going. You should be coming with me. It's almost like this was this unspoken, like, that emperor should be with me. They should be joining me. I don't think Scorpio necessarily said it like that, but this Nine of Cups, it's something Scorpios wanted to do. Again, this could be a trip, it could be a vacation, it could be they're going somewhere. But what an awesome energy for this masculine to join Scorpio after all. Tell me about that. Tell me about them. Messenger of Cups. They definitely have like an I'm so sorry I didn't just automatically join you. By the way, I have a cup that is almost a little set almost exactly like this, like little cordial glasses. Although I put parfaits in them for my niece's party, but this feels Five of Swords. They are sorry that they had an argument. So this is somebody who was either already with Scorpio and adores the heck out of Scorpio and vice versa. But it feels like maybe Scorpio had an argument with this person because they weren't coming with Scorpio on a trip. This could be Scorpio's like, well, I wanted you to, come meet my family. I wanted to, go to this event. I thought you were going to come with me. Oh, you're not. Okay. It almost feels like Scorpio was a little bit pissed at them. And they're sorry that there was ever even a fight about this at all. I think it mostly it hurt Scorpio that this person wasn't initially going to be joining them. And I feel almost like if Scorpio took off on this trip by themselves, this person, although it's a little late in the game, they're showing up or they're reaching out to say, I'm so sorry, I should have just come with you in the first place. There was something that was not fair. I don't know if this, I don't know why he got it wrong, but especially when he has so much love for this Scorpio, like that is not even a little bit in question mark. Maybe they thought their career, I can't join you, or we can't take a vacation together because I have to work. And no, I don't think I'm going to come with you on that road trip. And I really think that like stung Scorpio, or Scorpio actually got pissed off and was like, well, that's not much of a partnership then, is it? Something along those lines seems to be with that Five of Swords for Scorpio to have said something that was actually like, yeah, well, I don't know that this is going to work at all then if somebody's not going to, either consider joining me or consider going where I go or anything like that. If you're not going to meet me halfway, because we got that Justice card here. They're the ones who feel like they did this relationship a big injustice. This is them saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I did that. And here's Scorpio, kind of like I feel like this was that moment where if this emperor really doesn't make a change and doesn't, step up and even like change what they said and make Scorpio like more the center of their world, then I think Scorpios of that mindset where they're like, I'm not going to talk to this person anymore, even though I love them. I'm going to be done with somebody who just can't seem to give fair and square. What about what I want? If they're not matching me, on one hand, it says that this emperor has been sitting here thinking about all this beauty and light that Scorpio brings into their life. Like, oh my God, they help me think from my heart, not just from my logic. Scorpio blossoms and they're super successful and they're such an amazing influence in my world. So why is it that I'm like resistant to sometimes like following Scorpio's lead? They are sorry, but they've had to reflect on this a little bit. And first off, reflect about like, but I'm in love with Scorpio. I adore this Scorpio. They bring all this light into my life. What the heck was I doing? Being resistant. And I feel like this is them suddenly rushing to play catch up, even if it's like they have to fly to meet Scorpio someplace after Scorpio already drove a big distance or something to take a trip that they were arguing that, they weren't going to join Scorpio on. This feels like now they want to course correct that. Or it feels like they want to chase after Scorpio. Okay. Scorpios, I hope that we didn't just lose this whole video. I don't know for sure. But I think we may be having power outages due to the heat right now. If this video does not complete, then Scorpio, I will have to, do these much later on tonight. I'll probably pause after this, knowing that we just lost connection there. No, what I was saying is I feel like this emperor has had like this awareness, like, what the heck am I doing? An emperor is fair and balanced. Maybe they weren't really in emperor's energy before, and they weren't really seeing it as like, wait a second, this is my Scorpio. I should be with them. I should be their partner. I should be caring about where they want to go and what they want to do, instead of, just like, oh no, you go ahead and go. I'm not going. Especially when Scorpio wanted them, to accompany them. This just feels really like they've had to do some, mindset reset in their mind, because I think Scorpio, the more hours they drove away or the more minutes they're away from this emperor, the more I think Scorpio was like saying, you know what, this is not right. This is not okay. So maybe I'm done with them. Maybe I don't talk to them anymore, even if I loved them. That's how this comes across, because we had the heartbreak. We had, the Libra scales here, the injustice. We had Scorpio ready to block them. I do think things can change on a dime if this emperor then turns around and goes, wait a second, what the heck am I doing? This is not like a manipulation where it's like Scorpio throws a tantrum and then once they get what they want, then they're super happy. I think that this was more like a really big moment for these two that we're seeing, where this could have been like a lot of little things that all coalesce into one big topic, which was, look, I expect some kind of equal give and take. And if Scorpio hadn't been getting equal give and take, maybe this emperor is very much about their business, about, money, about things like that, and they don't take a lot of free time. But Scorpio's like, oh, that's fine. We all work hard. But when it comes time to go somewhere or do something wonderful, this could have even been like, maybe Scorpio is like going to be honored for something and going to take a trip. And on that trip, some seminar or something, they were going to be a keynote speaker and the emperor wasn't going to go. And it's like, okay, so if you can't support me like that, then I don't know what the heck I'm doing with you. And I think it was because this really feels like it was very unfair. It feels like Scorpio felt like, oh, that one stung. I understand that in our day-to-day life, we both got to work, we make sacrifices. But this is, this boils it down to like, no, you should be there for me if we're going to do this. This feels very specific, obviously. But I really think that there was like a moment where they didn't choose wisely, and Scorpio went anyway. And this is them saying, what the heck have I done? This is them saying sorry, but I think this is them also fixing the situation. I think this is them changing it around and saying that was not right. I should have been beside you the whole time. Good for them for, recognizing that. It could have just been that they had all this drive. They didn't mean to disrespect Scorpio, or like maybe they didn't see it that way at first. Emperors do sometimes feel like they have a lot of responsibilities and that's what they focus on. But it's like it really struck them later on, like, what the heck? Responsibilities, yeah, but I have a responsibility to my Scorpio too. I need to be there for them. This is them, like, literally in this storyline, them having that awakening, like, I need to be there for Scorpio. I need to be there and be more of a partner than what I have been. I need to, there's a lot of different ways that we can be a partner to someone. And this is not just about like, money and stability and job stuff. This is like, I need to also be an emotional support and I need to be present. And really our relationship should come first before other things. Where is time going to be spent first? Let's make sure that our time together is what we preserve. And then work related stuff comes after that. Within reason, right? Now, all of this just looks like they're having a real turnaround in the way they were thinking about things, which thank goodness, because I do think that they were this close to losing Scorpio permanently. All right, I'm going to break here and I'll come back this evening and I will get to our remaining couple zodiacs and we'll do those live. Thank you guys for being here. Sorry for the interruption there. It is we're having a big heat wave where I'm at. And so I'm guessing that that's probably what's going on with the internet right now. So we're going to break in this hottest part of the day and come back tonight. All right, take care.